谢谢你，蒋财生先生。Thank you, Mr. Chiu. Just now when we were all coming here to prepare for this rally, some people present here, some of our supporters asked me, how come I'm dressed in orange? And how come they are dressed in peach color? You want to know the reason why? Yeah. Because these are our officers. I'm only the other rank. So when our officers say charge, we will all follow them and charge, right? Because these are good officers. These are dedicated officers. Never mind, I will be other rank, I'll be a private corporal, good enough for me. All right? These are our generals. When they say charge, we will all charge. Okay? When they say vote for NSP, you will vote for NSP. Now our next candidate is also one of the youngest in this GE. Male. The male one. The youngest male candidate. He is 30. 让我可以讲，现在我介绍的就是我们男子候选人之中最年轻的一个。他才是31岁，他是曾经做过一个大公司的董事，他也是有很雄厚的商业经验，他也是我们国立大学的 BA Honors Graduate 的毕业生，他也是我们马林百列集选区的候选人。Now I introduce Mr. Spencer Ng Chun Hon, our candidate for Marine Parade GRC.
That's my wife to be. Thank you. So sorry to make you all high for a little while. As a Teochew saying, 好了點對, okay? The next one will be the youngest one. Hey, let me address to all of you this evening. Good evening, residents of Marine Parade GRC, Mountbatten SMC, and most important of all, citizens of Singapore. My fellow countrymen, I am Spencer Ng Chun Hong. Tonight, I stand before you as one of the candidates for the contest of Marine Parade GRC in these 2011 general elections. Thank you. To be judged by you, if you like us, to be of service to you. Before going on, I'd like to address a question asked by Mr. Goh. It came out in today's newspaper. He said, on nomination day, our Marine Parade GRC team, the male candidates in the team seem to be hiding behind our only female candidate, Nicole Seah. I would like to say something to Mr. Goh. Serving the people is not just talk only. 不是嘴講就耍了. We do our work quietly, and we let our result show, and we let the citizens to judge us and to give us the marks. Singapore is going to pass her 46th birthday this year. For 46 years, we have achieved amazing results with our efforts as a people, as a nation. For 46 years, we have heeded to the cause of the incumbents to sacrifice in the name of surviving in this dangerous world, as they put it to us. Policies have been shoved down our throats time and time again in the name of making our nation a better one from the third world to the first world. All this for the sake of one indicator of performance, that is to increase our GDP higher and higher every year. Even to the extent of wanting us to be cheaper, better, and faster. I would like to ask, how cheap can we be? $1 per hour or $2 per hour? Free of charge. Since young, I have been told, study hard and you will get a good paying job, because the party in our parliament will ensure all citizens will be taken care of and be able to get a decent job. And now you want us to be cheap. How much better is expected of us? 24 hours on standby for work, even when we have one of the highest working hours in the world. Yes, this is another first for Singapore in the world's ranking. I remembered we are being told to have more children. With this kind of requests, or rather demands placed on us, how are we going to find the time and mood to go home and procreate? ERP has been set to be switched off at a very late timing. How can we go home and find our loved ones and spend quality family time together? Thank you. I am not sure if the people making the policies know procreation is not like factory assembly line. Without feelings, without emotions, and most importantly, without love. And the next criteria, how fast should we work? As fast as our minister pay increased by nearly 30% overnight? Or as fast as our money has been drained out by the ever-increasing cost of living in Singapore? Or as fast as Mas Selamat ran to our neighboring country? HDB prices have skyrocketed. These affect every single one of us. In Teochew, HDB is our kukak. Something that you have to live with every day and you cannot do without. Transport costs need to be adjusted every now and then. Amazingly, most of the times, or rather as far as I can remember, always rise. And I would like to ask every one of you here, as proud Singaporeans, is medical cost low and manageable for the average Singaporean? I believe we have a common answer in our heart. Now, with the cheaper, better, and faster, I would like to ask, with our $1 million cabinet of ministers, why did they not apply cheaper, better, and faster to themselves? The following is an extract which I read online, and I find that it struck into my heart. Can the HDB build cheaper and better flats faster? Can Singapore Power supply us with cheaper electricity? Can our public transport come faster, fares made cheaper, and commuters have a better, more comfortable ride instead of getting squeezed like sardine? And must wait some more. This morning, our team, Marine Parade GRC, NSP, as a team, we experienced a train ride together. From Paya Lebar MRT station all the way to Outram and later on to Raffles Place. Not to say that we don't take trains, but we want to go through this as a team. It is so amazing. At 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., the train to Outram was still packed. This is something I have not seen, I have not experienced during my schooling days. It's really amazing. Our HDB minister said, a young couple earning a monthly combined income of $4,000 Sing dollars will be able to purchase a flat with almost no cost. I feel he forgot to add in the fine prints. Every time we sign something, there is always the fine prints printed at the back. So next time when you sign something, look carefully. Paying a 30-year loan and slog like a dog every month just to pay off our HDB. Put it very nicely, we put on CPF, HDB take it. Sayonara. Are we supposed to forego the pursuit of a better standard of living if HDB prices are made cheaper and we have the surplus cash to pursue the Swiss standard of living promised to us? Any one of us here with a simple calculator is able to calculate easily how many coins you will be left in your pocket if you follow Mr. Ma's ways of counting. Now, I have been to many reservists. A lot of my army friends, they have married and they have children. When I see them, I'm very worried for our future generations because everyone is paying until min che che. Okay, until your face turn green. We have already been enslaved by this scheme of buying a pigeonhole as our home at such artificial high prices. Do we want our children to live in this way too? Me too. I know what I want to say. When you grow old and sick, unable to pay the medical bills, and then you hear suggestions on TV of going to Johor Bahru to spend your remaining days. Oh, you are old and not much use to boost our GDP. I'm so sorry, off you go. CPF money. Where are all our savings in CPF? From an age of 55, now they raise to 65 and want to raise to 67, and soon, I have watched a video clip online showing our labor chief saying that he is happy every time he sees his CPF contribution statement. If you are earning over $2 million a year, 2 million, who here will not be happy? If it's me, I will already be chill me all the way to my bed. Of course, I will tell you I'm happy to see my monthly statement. If CPF don't send me, I will make a call to them, please send me. I want to see the numbers. Perhaps For too long, we gave the PAP the impression that we are dumb, gong gong, and tutu. To keep on believing their policies will help the average Singaporeans. Beside their pay and pay, now it stands for something I heard in a taxi. The taxi uncle told me it also means poor also pay. Thank you. Too many times we feel helpless each time a policy that only benefits the government reserve gets implemented, regardless we like it or not. We were presented with only two choices: make some noise and get used to it, or swallow it and get on with life with lesser money in your pocket. For too long, we have been indifferent to voice our political views, as we have been conditioned to. I still hear my friends in civil service that they are very afraid to vote for alternative party. Opposition party have grown. We don't oppose for the sake of opposing. We are the alternative voice for the Singaporeans. We offer alternative solutions, better, faster, and cheaper to the Parliament of Singapore. For too long, our voices have been ignored. But all of us know that deep inside each and every one of us still burns a fire to make it right for Singapore. We all understand, even Mr. Lee Hsien Loong also understands, that this election is not just about the party to be in charge of Singapore. It is about the pressing need to change and steer Singapore in the right direction. All of you here and everyone else in the Republic of Singapore as a citizen will choose the team of candidates you have faith on the 7th of May 2011. But at the end of this day, we know that you vote us in, you vote NSP in for Marine Parade GRC, for Mountbatten, SMC, and all the rest of the constituency that NSP is contesting in. It's not because you like the candidate or they are sweet-talking you. You voted us, NSP, into the parliament because you know that in this election, your vote will determine and will define the next 5 years and our next generation's living conditions in Singapore. We cannot afford to be doing what we have been doing, to give overwhelming power to the PAP to do whatever they like and whatever they wish. We owe ourselves a better living in our generation. No more town council telling us we are saving, we are investing for the next generation and lose it in investment without telling us who are in charge. We owe our children a better future, and we owe our country, Singapore, our home, a better future as well. Now, it is not change when at the end of every 5-year term, the ruling party can only deliver upgrading and upgrading. And not forgetting, giving us a little ang pao money to offset the price increases over the next 5 years. I am so amazed at how fast they can roll out upgrading plans within such a short notice. Every GRC, every SMC, pop, 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 you have your upgradings. Amazing, magic. It is not progression. When PAP policies fail to increase our real income over the last 5 years, it is not progression when we are unable to find a decent paying job after being retrenched. It is not progression when Singaporeans have to pay off a huge debt when you purchase a HDB flat. In army, this kind of situation, we call it hantar kaki. Hopefully, our Singapore will not ke belakang busing and go backwards. You know, in this election, your vote is the best firepower to change our government to a more inclusive one, a parliament for the people of Singapore. We understand that the problems facing working families cannot be solved simply by spending more money. But we know, NSP also know, by adjusting the system, by lowering taxes that squeeze the middle class and lower class, the poor, can help every one of us here. GST, 3%, 5%, 7%. It has been promised to us it will not be increased. But with the if Singapore economy is still going strong, the if, when I heard it, I shiver. All can be controlled by the government. Are they, the minister, willing to work that extra hours to adjust for us in their policies with their $1 million pay package? And so, citizens of Singapore, residents of Marine Parade, GRC, and Mountbatten SMC, cast your votes wisely in this election. Vote for NSP. This is the election, our only chance for the next 5 years to determine the direction of Singapore, the policies that will affect everyone here. Tonight, I stand before you as a candidate. I am nothing but your humble servant at your service. Vote us into the parliament. We, the NSP, pledge to serve the people. Vote us in to the parliament to serve you as your humble servant. I believe together we can change Singapore to a Singapore that all of us will want. Thank you. Vote for change. It is time. If we do not change, if we do not upgrade ourselves, we will lose in this competition. This message very familiar. And this time round, it's time to vote for NSP. Vote NSP for Marine Parade GRC and Mountbatten SMC. Empower us with your vote to bring your voice and your rights as a citizen of Singapore to the parliament. NSP, together with you, we can. Vote for us on 7 May 2011. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you. Okay, my speech is over. As I said, ho liao tim toi. The next one. Can we have some cheer? Nicole Seah. Okay. She has a lot of media attention on her for the past few weeks. And we all know by now, age is not an issue to be an MP in Parliament. Yes. Age is not an issue if you have the heart and sincerity to serve. Nicole, along with the rest of the NSP candidates, step out to contest in this election, to contest in these general elections is not because of the ever-increased pay packages. We stand before you to serve, to help, to listen. Feel our sincerity. Feel our eagerness to serve you. Vote us in. On this, I will pass the mic to the MC, and soon, Nicole will come on stage. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Spencer. Thank you. 最近我们介绍我们马林百列区的集选区的候选人之后，我在报纸上看到，特别是就是在晚报，他说零斗零，你们要支持哪一个零？舍血零是吗？或者你要支持丁佩零？呀，我们要的是舍血零。So it is Ling versus Ling, right? But never mind, never mind. We did not feel Nicole Seah because they feel Ting Pei Ling. We didn't even know they are putting a young female candidate in Marine Parade. We have already prepared for Nicole to stand with us, right? But it just so happened, this is fate. But remember, fate is in your hands, right? Fate is in your hands. Give us your support. If you love her, vote for her. Will you? All right, I call upon Nicole, Rebecca, Seah, Xue Ling.
Good evening, Singaporeans. My name is Nicole Seah, and I am the NSP candidate for Marine Parade GRC. Hello, 我名叫佘雪玲，我是在马林百列是个国民团结党的候选人。Selamat petang. Nama saya Nicole Seah. Saya peranakan, maafkan bahasa saya tak sangat bagus. Kami dari National Solidarity Party. The PAP says that I am a young lady contesting in a stronghold in Marine Parade GRC. Well, I am here today because this is what I want to say, and I want to say it to all Singaporeans today. 居民，你这个19年来没有机会投票，现在你就有了选择。不要害怕，不要害怕 BAP. Do not be afraid. Do not let the PAP tell us that they know what is best. Because we know better, and we will stop being afraid of them. This elections is not about the renewal of the PAP. It is not about the renewal of any political party. This elections is for Singaporeans to stand up and choose what is right for your country. You have a choice. PM Lee said that the elections is not masak-masak. Of course, the NSP team feels that it is not masak-masak lah. That's why NSP never changed its Tampines team at the last minute. Anyway, I was reading the PAP manifesto and what PM Lee had to say about upgrading. He said that voters in wards won by the opposition cannot expect the same improvement promised by the PAP. I want to ask PM Lee one thing. Whose money are you using for the upgrading? PM Lee, who is paying your salary? PM Lee, who is funding your grow and share package? Singaporeans, this is your money. So can someone remind us why we are still so scared of the PAP? We are not scared anymore, and we will not be afraid. So I ask you one thing. For the next 5 years, do you want a fresh coat of paint in your void deck? Or do you want a voice to speak up for you in Parliament? PM Lee also made the analogy that running the country is like driving a car. He said, and I quote from the Straits Times, "Better find the best driver who is not only capable, but who really cares for where the car is going. And if it doesn't work, throw him out." Singaporeans, it might seem that things are suddenly taking a turn for the better in the past month. Suddenly, national issues are being addressed. You have quick fix solutions that are presented in the blink of an eye. Then the question I want to ask the PAP is, what happened in the past 5 years? Number one, our GST increased to 7%. They say they want to help the poor. Well, let me tell you something. $1.9 billion was generated from the increase, but only $0.4 billion was distributed to the poor. Where did the rest of the money go? Number two, public housing prices was left to free market forces and shot up. Now, Singaporeans need to pay off their flat in 30 years instead of 20 years. At first, they said that this is so we will have a stake in the country. Now, they turn around and say that we are raiding the reserves. But then, whose money is it? How come we don't earn 15K a month, but then we need to contribute so much money to our national reserves? Number three, our population shot up by 26% over the past 10 years. Last time, when I was in primary school, I take the train, I see Singaporeans everywhere I go. Now, every time I take the train, it feels like I am in a different country. It is like taking a holiday. I don't even need to bring my passport. You think that they say in the past few weeks they want to solve these problems? They will solve it. If so, why were they not solved in the past 5 years? Let me talk about what the NSP will do for you. The NSP will make Singaporeans a priority when it comes to employment. We will make you a priority. Instead of focusing on GDP growth, which is the KPI that determines how much bonus your ministers get, we will focus on growing your wages for Singaporeans and to build a better quality of life. Next, the NSP wants to redefine the notion of public housing. Since when did public housing become so expensive? Now, couples are settling down at a later age because they do not want the burden of the huge debt to pay off their houses. Public housing indeed. The NSP promises compassionate lower prices for first-time homeowners, and we will not use upgrading as a carrot to win Singaporeans over. Our party's interest is not as important as Singaporeans' interests. You are the ones that we are serving today. The NSP also wants to ensure that the elderly and the disabled are fully entitled to transportation subsidies. Do you know that that is not the case in Singapore right now? Because if your MP thinks that you don't need transport subsidy, you don't get transport subsidy. As a result, many older Singaporeans in certain constituencies are not eligible for subsidies. Lastly, the NSP wants to reduce GST back to 5%. The last time in 2006, GST was increased to 7% with the argument that it will help the poor. Then what happened to all the money? Go where? Middle-class Singaporeans who did not qualify for assistance back then have to struggle even more now because it eats into your expenses and your disposable income. So before I end off this speech, I want you to remember 3 things when you cast your vote this 7th of May. Number 1, the PAP made many promises in the last elections in 2006, and yet Singaporeans continued to suffer even more in the years ahead. Remember that. Number 2, vote for the party that will speak up for you, not the one that threatens you with fear. Because you, the Singaporean, deserves to be heard. Number 3, you as a Singaporean deserve to hold the government accountable for the policies they have implemented over the past 5 years. So with that, I would like to end off by saying, saya dari NSP, undi kita. Vote for the NSP，请投我们一票，谢谢。